I know a thing or two about extinction. And driving yourselves extinct? In 70 million years, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Would you like to talk about this, friend?
Frank.
Frank. What did Frank say?
He said to follow him.
Follow him. Where?
Into the future.
And then what happens?
And then he said that the world is coming to an end.
Why do they call you Frank?
It is the name of my father.
Frankenstein. The rumors are true.
For a GOP primary is complicated by the fact that 66% of Republican voters believe Trump's baseless claims about election fraud.
Celebrating Bill Gates' 66th birthday party in a secluded Turkish cove. Johnson opened with a cinematic metaphor.
Welcome to Glasgow and to Scotland, whose most globally famous fictional
This is not a work of fiction.
son is almost certainly a man called James Bond.
You're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur, a relic of the Cold War.
Who generally comes to the climax of his highly lucrative films strapped to a doomsday device, desperately trying to work out which coloured wire to pull to turn it off, while a red digital clock ticks down remorselessly to a detonation that will end human life as we know it. And we are in roughly the same position, my fellow global leaders, as James Bond.
There are two of you. Two Jameses.
There are two Donald Trumps. There's the public version, and people see then, I don't know what they see exactly, but it seems to have worked over my lifetime. Ben said it very well today. So perhaps there are two Donald Trumps.
Sometimes I think Donald Trump is really a set of twins. I do. There's Donald Trump and Ronald Trump. And they're masquerading as the same person, but sometimes they just can't get their story straight.
Well, this is the world.
I know a thing or two about extinction.
And he's the man to do it.
Which one are you? Who are you? I'm Donald. You're Donald. And you're dating.
The last time I saw him, he asked me if I knew about time travel.
In 70 million years, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It's wearing glasses, is that real? Okay. I think this might be a Donnie Darko situation. Fantastic.
He said, so what's yours? Talking about what's your hobby? And he said, resurrection.
Resurrection.
Has it happened that somebody has done something to you, not a death in the family, but has done something to you to wound you?
When I'm wounded, I go after people hard, okay? And I try and unwound myself.
Unwound.
He's riding like the one-eyed Jack of Diamonds with the devil close behind. He's not one-eyed. He's got one eye on earth, one eye into heaven. He's already not of the earth completely. He's already transcended his body. The one-eyed man in the land of the blind is king. And if Trump's anything, he's a one-eyed man. And if Trump's anything, he's a one-eyed man.
It's like my daddy used to say, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
because he was Donald Trump. See the wound over his right eye? That's the wound that he had in Skyfall. He played in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo because the girl had the dragon, because the dragon is Lucifer, Satan is Lucifer.
Mr. President, you gave me the dragon energy when you shook my hand on Sunday at your rally, and it doesn't matter if King Kong was in front of me, I was not going to lose after getting to shake your hand.
You aren't going. He's a strong-looking guy, too. He's a tough guy. He's a great fighter. He was a champion.
Lucifer is the female transgendered version of Satan, so of course it was a girl that was assisting or working with Bond. And how did she do it? She did it through her computer, which is... But see the deadly wound over his right eye? And he says, thank you, Jesus. Ow. Because it's all been ordained by Jesus, right? That's right. Be careful. It's my eye. Idle shepherd that leaveth the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened.
I'm sorry for your loss.
You knew my husband?
All too briefly.
What do you do?
Life insurance.
A little late for that.
For your husband, yes. Did your husband ever mention the Pale King?
No.
Execute Order 66.
Yes.
Roosevelt's Executive Order 9066, signed in 1942, gave the Secretary of War permission to designate areas in the United States as military zones which became concentration camps for Americans with Japanese, German, and Italian ancestry. While Roosevelt's Order 9066 and Star Wars Order 66 has different mandates, the two orders similarly targeted innocent people who were labeled as traitors given their affiliation to a specific group of people. Given the similarities, the Executive Order is therefore likely to be inspiration for the name. One other theory suggests that Order 66 is indicative of the number 666, which has come to be known as a representation of evil or the devil within Christianity. 666 association with the devil originated within the book of Revelations from the Bible's New Testament, which states, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is with the number of a man, and his number is 666.
It's the name of my father. His father before me.
There is a mythical battle between the light and dark, good and evil, in the Bond films.
The clockwork, so to say, and the protagonist-antagonist relationship. It should be two sides of the same coin, so to say.
Ian Fleming talks about how Bond and the villain are actually mirror images of each other.
Bond. Come back alive.
And so in Gematria, we learned that Trump's name was changed from Drumpf to Trump. And when you Google that, I mean, even Snopes, who I don't trust at all, they backed it up. So it's not Donald Drumpf, it's just Don Drumpf. That's his name. And it comes up to 666. The chances of that.
Janus, and he has this staff and the key, minted in 66 AD. The 66 is very important, and it is real. It's not a figment of our imagination. It's not a stretch. It's not made up. This is real, and this is why Trump's penthouse is on the 66th floor. He's channeling this demon. He's channeling it. There's also a Q aspect to this. One of his names, he has many, is Quirinus. Janus Quirinus. You can see how many times this Q appears. Well, this gate was opened during times of war, the Geminus Gate. They would close the gate during times of peace. These two pillars would be at the origin of the theology of the divine twins, one of whom is mortal, related to the northeast pillar, nearest the northern region where the sun does not shine, and the other is immortal, related to the southeast pillar and the southern region where the sun always shines.
Who is Janus? For many, his name will seem quite foreign, as we rarely hear of this god mentioned in discussions of the Roman mythology. And yet, we've all spoken his name without knowing it. After all, it is his name that serves as the root for the month we call January. The enshrinement of the god's name at the start of the year should tell us something about Janus's importance in the Roman world. Scholars investigating the matter have actually found Janus depicted on the oldest Roman coins and have noted his presence at the top of the oldest list of gods. In fact, in these early writings, he is often referred to as the Divum Deus, an ancient Latin translation which means the god's god, and was even said to have been the one to have welcomed Saturn to Italian shores. Janus Pater, the god of beginnings, Janus Petulcius, the god that opened doors, and Janus Clusivus, the god that closed doors.
007. If you think for one moment I don't have the balls to send a man out to die, your instincts are dead wrong. I've no compunction about sending you to your death.
In 70 million years,
where's Larry Crowne?
Remember, you got the flu. I know a spectacular urine sales open every day.
Then ye shall beat us, Lance Corona.
Mighty patriots began with a single man. That one man's desires grew huge, bloated, absorbed technology, began to manipulate the economy. We realized too late that we had created a beast. We had helped turn 0 into 100. His sin was ours.